So I conducted a really cool social experiment on X today. I told a bunch of feminists that the only reason to ever get married is to bear children, and anything else is marriage LARP. I have found the best way to get people to actually interact and discuss things with you is to piss them off really bad. The ones that told me that I was a fat, stupid incel, I just trolled them even harder. But the ones who decided to explain to me their view on marriage, I just asked them more questions about it. Today we're going to examine various feminist views on marriage. I hope you enjoy the video. Now, before I get started even talking about this, I want to preface this by saying that I believe that marriage is a personal matter between you and your partner. There are many reasons that people choose to get married or not get married. I do not believe that the state should be involved in marriage at all, really, but I also will not pretend that marriage is not an institution of religion. Though marriage may predate Christianity, the Old Testament may be the first written definition of marriage. I specifically decided to say that marriage was only for procreation and no other reason, in order to bait leftist feminists to come out and screech at me and ridicule me and belittle me while explaining their own shallow, vapid reasons for believing in marriage. So we'll get right into them now. We'll start with this one. Some people get married for companionship, and a lot of married people don't want babies up into their 40s and 50s. Now, this is one of the better answers that I received, but I will say that it still feels to me like it downgrades marriage to be on the same level as getting a new puppy. Here we have a non-marriage enjoyer that says wanting children is no real reason to marry either. It's not a requirement. Just ask every single other animal that ever existed on this planet. I have 3 children of my own, love all of them, and take care of my family, no marriage required. So why get married? Well, according to a large body of research, children raised by married parents generally tend to have better outcomes across various aspects of their lives, including academic achievement, emotional well-being, and overall health, compared to children from non-married parents. This is often attributed to the stability and support provided by a 2-parent household with a low-conflict marriage. So if your children statistically have a better shot at life if you have them in wedlock, then why would you not want to do that for your children? It seems to me that throughout history, parents have wanted to give their children every advantage that they can over how they were brought up. Parents have always wanted their children to have a better life than they had until narcissism became the norm in American society. Followed by another non-marriage enjoyer who says, funny, I had 2 kids without getting married. It's almost like marriage has nothing to do with whether we can do or should have kids. This is correct. It only has to do with what is best for your kids, which people seem to not give a shit about. Demi Deviant says that she is currently engaged and said yes because she loves him. If she didn't love him, she wouldn't be getting married to him, and I don't think I have to write out the pros and cons list before saying yes of what all I might logically get out of it. It is true that marriage should be strongly based on love, but I do not think you should make a lifelong commitment on emotions alone. When I told her this, she informed me that she feels sorry for my wife. When I told my wife that Debbie Deviant feels sorry for her, my wife said that she can go f*** herself. It is important to note that most of these people do not consider marriage to be a lifelong commitment to begin with. This one says, I want to get married in the future when I'm ready and spend my life with someone and say, that's my wife, husband, partner, proudly. I feel like this one would marry a snake if you held the end that bit and it looked cool around your neck so you could show it off to your friends. At least this one views it as a lifelong commitment. This one says there are multiple reasons like joint settlement, medical responsibility, etc. People want all that with their spouses. Funny, I never even considered that. And the big wedding day, walking down the aisle in a beautiful gown, was even my dream since I first saw it on television, and I'm not even a Christian. This is what I call the Disney princess fantasy. I am, however, not surprised to learn that Solaris, the weirdo vampire, is not a Christian. All of these women have weird goth names with sparkly letters and shit. This one has informed me that the entire point of marriage to begin with is to celebrate the sharing of love between 2 people. Anything you choose to do after that is on you, LOL. So to this person, marriage is basically just a big party with a giant cake that you can shove in your mouth, LOL. Just because I don't want kids doesn't mean I don't want to see myself as a family unit with the person I love. Marriage gives you a status that dating doesn't, in my opinion. You know what else gives you status? A really nice Rolex or a sports car. You know, marriage is a sports car. You can just show that off and people will know that you are cooler than them. Generally, as in dictionary, it's defined as a union of two people as partners in a personal relationship. Procreation, in my understanding, is sex, not marriage. People have sex even if they are not married, and married couples can have a life without sex. I don't really think it's fair to use a dictionary definition that was changed 20 years ago and ignore the 3,000 years or whatever of recorded history of marriage and call it generally. I mean, I just don't generally, look up generally in the dictionary. I just don't think generally is the term that you should generally use for that, generally. Also, procreation is not sex, it's having children. I'm not sure if they confuse procreation with fornication. This person is dumb. Here's a slightly more intelligent take from the same person. For the U.S., Social Security benefits, IRA benefits, tax benefits, marital tax deduction, health insurance benefits. So their argument is basically marriage is for tax avoidance. I love tax avoidance as much as the next guy, but the fact is that all of these policies were put in place to encourage procreation. So you just want the benefits of having a marriage that was intended for procreation without actually procreating. But it's fine, because why should these people reproduce? I think it would be a benefit of society just to pay these people not to have kids. Marriage is not a guarantee for anyone remaining or properly participating in a relationship. In fact, a large portion of marriages end in divorce. This is correct. Lots of people stand before God and everyone and swear an oath that they intend to fully fucking break because they do not value marriage. But it strikes me as odd that people who do not even value marriage will argue with me so much about my opinion on marriage. This one's great. Perhaps two people are fully capable of loving each other and living life for each other and themselves without the need or desire to involve others. So I just respond they couldn't do that without getting married. Marriage gives you some rights as you and your spouse are legally recognized as a family. Well, what happened to not involving others? Now we need state recognition. We need the state to validate our relationship. So that's the long and short of it. That is the feminist view on marriage. It's not about having children. It's about me, what I want, state recognize me, tax avoidance, so I have to pay less taxes, me, children last.